ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the closing ceremony of the International Astronautical Congress 2011 in Cape Town. My name is Julian McCarty, and I am from the IAF.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Jonathan Weltman. I'm on the local organizing committee, and I was the Congress organizer for the Congress. Those who know me well call me Jono, and I know pretty much all of you well now, so please feel free to do the same.
Well, I hope you also had a great week, an excellent time in Cape Town, as good as my time was.
Good.
How was it for you?
It was a little bit tiring.
Well, you know, the cups of coffees that we had, like during that week, mine, I can't count them anymore. Well,
we had 30,000 cups of coffees. 30,000 teas and coffees were served. I think me and my staff drank about 25,000 of those. I can also tell you that we moved 984 people between the CTICC and the various hotels. We used 2,500 sheets of paper. We had a staff complement of over 450 people trying to take care of every need. The website delivered over 296,000 pages for the duration of the Congress, and the combined total of sleep the local organizing committee had was 24 hours.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Professor Dr. Feuerbacher on stage, the President of the IAF.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, friends. Memories are made of this. This was a real memorable Congress. It is something that we will keep in our mind for a long time, I think, at least me. What a wonderful city with all the excitements and activities going on here. What a great scenery with the Table Mountain, and I took the opportunity before the Congress began to go up there and had a beautiful sight. Great facilities that we had for running this Congress and a flawless organization. The Congress, of course, is carried by the technical program. And I must admit, I had limited opportunities to attend technical sessions. I took, whenever I could, opportunities to listen in every now and then, but I mingled with delegates, with session chairs, with committee chairs, and I was convinced by them that the attendance was very good, that the qualities of the papers was excellent, and the technical program great. Now, all this we thank to C.S. Mostert, who unfortunately, as you might know, cannot be with us today. He felt sick, is in hospital, and our thoughts are with him, and we all hope he will be back in full strength very, very soon. But I also want to thank you, the speakers, you, the audience, you, the networkers. You all contribute to the success of such a conference, and this is my sincere thanks for that. One thing that I was particularly pleased about is the fact that this first Congress in Africa has really attracted a good number of African attendees, and not only from the host country, but from the whole continent. And our hosts were very, very instrumental in helping us to make sure that this really happens. I hope that this Congress will stimulate space activities here in this country and in the African continent. I hope that it will actually change the minds and will make people realize that space can be of benefit to all countries of the world, be they poor or be they rich. I hope that this conference really makes a difference. A difference in South Africa, which is a very highly advanced country, but also to other, in fact, to all countries on the continent of Africa. What I really hope is that there will be a before and after, before the Cape Town IAC and then after the Cape Town IAC, with a remarkable difference. The other observation that really pleased me is that we had an excellent participation of what I would call the next generation. We had the Space Generation Congress last week. We had the UN IAF workshop. We had student programs. We had the young professional programs, teachers' workshops. Schools have been involved at all levels, inside and outside the Congress. So I think the outreach was really very strong. I had the opportunity on Wednesday to listen to this intriguing plenary event that was organized by the Young Professional Program, and I can only commend the organizers for this wonderful event. Again, about 1/3 of the participants came from the age group below about 33, 35. And I think this is an investment that we made over the years, and it now pays out. I'm confident that you will take the baton, you will carry it on, and you will carry it to destinations we just dream about right now. This marks the 60th anniversary of our federation, and I can only say, what a birthday present. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Feuerbacher. And now we would like to welcome on stage the chair of the local organizing committee, Dr. Peter Martinez.
Dear colleagues, dear friends, on behalf of the local organizing committee, it's my great pleasure to address you all collectively this one last time on the occasion of the closing ceremony of this 61st International Astronautical Congress. I want to thank all of you for having graced us with your presence here in Cape Town during this past week, and to say that you were all an absolute pleasure to host. On a scientific and technical level, as you heard from Professor Feuerbacher, the Congress was a great success, thanks largely to the efforts of IPC co-chairs C.S. Mostert and Antonio Moccia. They were also supported by Michel Arnaud very significantly in their efforts. It's therefore particularly sad that I have to share the unfortunate news with you that yesterday afternoon, our IPC co-chair, C.S. Mostert, collapsed and was taken to hospital. News of his condition at this stage is very limited, but we know that he's not able to communicate at this time, and he's undergoing a series of medical tests to ascertain the cause and the extent of the problem. Our thoughts and prayers are with C.S. and his family at this very difficult time, and we have all the best wishes for him that he may have a speedy recovery. C.S. was instrumental in the success of this Congress, and I would like to propose through the IAF President that this gathering of the IAF family conveys its gratitudes and best wishes to C.S. for his recovery. Thank you. We can look back on a very successful Congress that was enjoyed by all the participants. Thank you to all of you, the delegates who contributed to the success of IAC 2011. There were so many instances during the build-up to the Congress that I could cite, but I will just choose one in particular. Behind me on the stage here are the two Congress flags, the flag on my right, or your left, which was the flag that did the world tour, and the flag on the other side of the stage, which was the national flag. And I'd like to thank all of the institutions that hosted these flags on their trips around the world or around the country in the build-up to IAC 2011. Those will go on display at one of our museums as a memento of this first International Astronautical Congress on the African continent. The Congress was a huge eye-opener for our African colleagues, many of whom had never had the privilege of attending an IAC before. During the week, many of them remarked that the Congress should not take another 62 years to come back to Africa. We had over 500 African delegates in attendance by the end of the week. I'm pleased to inform you that one of the first tangible outcomes of this first International Astronautical Congress in Africa is the establishment of an IAF Africa Regional Group under the co-chairmanship of Dr. Mustafa Masmoudi of Tunisia and myself. This regional group joins the two others already established for Latin America and the Caribbean and for Asia and the Pacific. We look forward to reporting on our progress at the next IAC in Naples. We thank our many exhibitors and sponsors for their support for IAC 2011. For the exhibitors, we appreciate that coming to South Africa was a very long-distance journey for you, and that mounting an exhibition at such a remote location is very costly. We really appreciate all of your efforts to contribute to the success of IAC 2011, and we hope that the Congress has met with your exhibition expectations. The preparations for this Congress were the result of intensive cooperation among a number of entities that aligned their activities in Africa for the past 2 years to build up to IAC 2011. We had the pleasure to work closely with the IAF Secretariat, and particularly with Executive Director Philippe Willikens and his excellent staff over the past 2 years. I understand that the younger folks on our two teams, my LOC and the IAF's the Secretariat, that the younger folks on our two teams will be going out to enjoy some very well-deserved partying this evening. Those of us who are a bit older haven't been invited, but that's okay. We'll figure something else out. We could not have organized this Congress without the support of our government and the local space community. We would like to acknowledge and thank all of our colleagues who served on the National Preparatory Committee, chaired by Ms. Nomfuneku Majaja of the Department of Trade and Industry, and also the assistance of Ms. Marie Botha of the Aerospace Industry Support Initiative for their support during the past 3 years. A Congress like this requires a small army of people working behind the scenes to ensure that everything runs smoothly. I would like to thank our PCO, City Guide SA, and also Paragon Conventions, both under the able leadership of Mr. Jonathan Weltman, one of the MCs for the ceremony this evening, and also the staff of the Cape Town Convention Center for their hard work during this week. Later on, during the closing ceremony, we will invite them all up on stage and allow you to show your appreciation. In conclusion, I would like to wish Professor Antonio Moccia and his team all the very best for their preparations for IAC 2012 in Naples. I'm looking forward to attending the Congress. I shall certainly enjoy it very much, having now known what goes into organizing an IAC, and I'm especially looking forward to using one of the Ferrari airport shuttles you told us about. For those of you who are departing for home, I wish you a safe and pleasant journey. For those of you who will take some time to do a little bit of touring around Cape Town and the country, I wish you all the very best and that you enjoy our beautiful country. Thank you very much. So now, as a kind of a visual souvenir for you of the week that's just gone by, we will show a short video of the IAC 2011. Thanks very much to all the folks who put that together. The video will be made available on the IAF website for download, I understand. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Martinez. And I suspect there must be a problem with your email because, and I hereby confirm publicly, all the senior members of the LOC and the IAF are invited to the after party, and we hope to see you there.
Yeah, we really hope to see you all there, the younger ones and the more senior ones. Well, I almost had like a little tear seeing all that, and I can hardly believe that it's just over. Like, it went so fast, but it was great. So thank you, Cape Town. So now, please let me welcome back Professor Dr. Feuerbacher on stage to launch the award ceremony.
It is my particular pleasure to launch the IAF award ceremony, and I would like first to introduce the highest award the IAF can give. It is the Alan D. Memorial Award, and I read you the statement of the award. It's given for outstanding contributions in space science, space technology, space medicine, or space law, which involve the participation of more than one nation and or further the possibility of greater international cooperation in astronautics. That's quite demanding, but we found a very able prize winner, and this year's award will be given to Dr. Kunaki Shiraki of the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency for his contribution to space transportation technology and to the success of the International Space Station.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Dear Professor, Dr. and Professor Bernard Feuerbacher,
I apologize.
And IF leaders, thank you very much for this extraordinary honor, and I would like to take this opportunity to express my heartfelt appreciation to all of you. I have been involved in the International Space Station for 26 years, since 1985. It is a great honor and pleasure for me that my contribution to the space transportation technology, such as the Japanese H2 transfer vehicle, HTV, and to the success of the external experiment module, Kibo, on the ISS was awarded for the Alan D. Memorial Award. The ISS is a world endeavor to be built, operated, and utilized by strong international partnership. The success of the program results from all partners' effort and collaboration. I believe that I am representing all of my colleagues of the ISS partners for this award. I am very glad to share this honor with my friends in the ISS community who have helped and supported our activities to date. I believe this honorable award will also encourage the people in my country who are recovering from the strong earthquake and tsunami disaster happened in last March. With much appreciation and hope for the future, thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Feuerbacher.
Thank you very much again. This is your award. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor.
Please welcome now Mrs. Lynn Wigbert, the chair of the Space Education and Outreach Program Committee, on stage to present the Frank J. Molina Astronautics Medal.
Oh, good afternoon. I'm very pleased to present the Frank J. Molina Astronautic Medal. This medal honors the memory of Frank J. Molina, pioneer rocket engineer, one of the founders and past president of the IAA. It is sponsored by the Aerojet General Corporation, of which Frank Molina was founder, and administered by the AIAA. The medal is for demonstrated excellence by an educator in promoting the study of astronautics and related space science. The 2011 award is given to Professor Yves Guérinat from France. Professor Guérinat is unfortunately not able to be with us today. However, his colleague, Professor Lizzie Détré from ISAA Superior, is here to receive the award on his behalf. Professor Guérinat has been involved in education for many years, and throughout that career, he has dedicated himself to his students, not only during business hours, but in his free time as well. His excitement and passion for space sciences has conveyed to and inspired countless students over the years. Additionally, his example of donating time to handicapped, minority, and less fortunate individuals has also been passed along to the students. His respect and example of nurturing and maintaining good relations with all persons, professors, students, professional partners, staff, industry, and government employees has also been instilled in the students he has interacted with. These reasons, combined with his research, art, and social dedication to space, has earned him the 2011 Frank J. Molina Astronautics Medal. Professor Lizzie Détré, may I please welcome you on stage.
So as you can see, I am not Professor Yves Guérinat, but he elected me to represent him to the ceremony. He is really disappointed not to be there today, but he forwarded me some words for you. So these are his words. It is a great honor and happiness for me to receive this exceptional medal. I dedicate this medal to all young people, including handicapped children, for which space education and discovery has opened eyes and horizons. In all activities that I have the privilege to develop during my life, training aspects have always remained essential, even for research at this transmission stage for the young generation. Prepare the future, go ahead for science and team and crew working. On behalf of Professor Yves Guérinat, I would like to thank sincerely EIF.
G. Napolitano Award with its honor. Please welcome Mrs. Napolitano and her award team on stage.
Good evening, my dear friends. Once again, I think it's 19 years that I give this award. And in the spirit of Luigi, that people, the majority of you knew Luigi. And I tried to do my best to give the opportunity, the new generation, to know something about Luigi, that anyhow it was a very significant figure in the IAF family. So I give you a big kiss to everyone, because I think that you are my family. So I call you space family. Tonight, thank you. Tonight, I am really very pleased to inform you that once again is the winner of Napolitano Awards is Mr. Mace from University of Pune, that is a young guy, very active in the space research. And I am really very proud that once again he got to a countries that my husband tried to do the best to get in the family of IAF. So I give to Mr. Fortezza. Before this one, I would like to thank a lot the Napolitano Award Committee, because each year they work very hard in the name of Luigi, and I am really very glad. And I give the word to Mr. Fortezza, that don't forget, he was a student, Luigi's student. Now he grew up. A little bit. But anyhow.
Okay, I'm here just on behalf of, thank you very much. And I'm here just on behalf of the Napolitano Award Committee, formed by Lynn Wingbelt, Tom Snitch, myself, and my colleague and friend Rashida Mekrane. The selection was very hard as usual, and this time was given to Michel Matre for advanced research in onboard computer development for small satellite application. That's, please, you're welcome.
And this is the IAF offer you a gala dinner tonight. And this one for you.
A lot of prizes. Thank you. Do you want to say something?
Good evening, everybody. I'm too small to make a speech, but I would really like to thank the IAF and everybody involved with this conference for giving me the opportunity and honoring my work. I'm really honored to take this award on behalf of the students of my country. Thank you.
Before I leave this stage, I would like to give a special thanks to President, my dear President and my dear friend. Thank you.
And now, please, kindly welcome Mr. Rashid Amekhan on stage to present the IEF Students Awards.
Yes, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a big pleasure to be here in Africa, the continent where I was born. And it's also a big honor for me to award the students of the student competition on behalf of the Student Space Education and Outreach Committee. So, but before doing so, I would like to give you a small introduction on what is about this student competition. So, 41 years ago, we started to establish a student conference in the IAF, in the IAC, and then we selected always the best and honored that with an award. With the time it grew up and more and more students came, and we had then 2 conferences, 2 sessions, and then the team work grew up, so we established also a 3rd session for the team projects. So what we are going here to award are undergraduates and graduates from the individual sessions where the individual students are presenting their master thesis or their work that they did in the university. And then further on, we will also award a team project I can tell you that will be very interesting. So before doing so, I will get first a big stack of envelopes that I got from the jury. Yes, it's here. And a list for my guidance. So we start with the undergraduate category. The undergraduate category with the second prize is given by the IFR, that's the Internationale Förderkreis für Raumfahrt. That association is represented by Marco Schmidt. I'll ask Marco to come to the stage. And then I will open the first envelope. So the second prize for the undergraduate category is coming from France, and the winner is Mr. François Laurent, and the work that he presented was a flight thrust modulation using hybrid propulsion system. François Laurent. So the first prize of the undergraduate category is given by the French Aerospace Association La 3AF, and 3AF is represented by Anne-Marie Mengui, member of the board. So let's go for the next envelope. Yes, this prize is going to the USA, and the winner is Mr. Rex Baer from the University of Arkansas. And the subject of his paper was a gimbal permanent magnet-based attitude control for pico and nano satellites. Mr. Baer, please come to the stage. Mr. Baer, it's your prize. Okay, if he's not here present, Anne-Marie, please stay here. We have more prizes to give. We will send the prize to Rex. So now, coming to the graduate category, we also start with the second prize. This is also given by the 3AF, by Anne-Marie Mengui. And yeah, let's see who is winning this prize. Oh, that's interesting. It goes to South Africa. The winner is Mrs. Jacoba Ore. I don't know whether I pronounced it correct. She's from the Stellenbosch University. And the subject of her paper is design of an aerodynamic attitude control system for a CubeSat. And I know that it was in the frame of a new project here in South Africa, so you can be really proud to have won this prize. Thank you. So the first prize for the graduate category is given by the IFR, represented by Marco Schmidt. And the first prize is going to, here. It's going to Germany. And again, a woman, Mrs. Maren Rahman. And the paper was about assessing crop water demands from space, classification of irrigation system in arid Central Asia using latest optical remote sensing systems. we really have a woman power here. So, as I said, we have these two categories. Nevertheless, we have an additional extra prize for the best technical paper, and this is given by the British Interplanetary Society. And the British Interplanetary Society is represented by the Vice President, Mark Hempsel. So, let's see who won this award. It is again, yeah, this is Germany. University of Göttingen, this is Germany. That's won by Mr. Tim Heuchler. The subject of his paper was numerical investigation of the shock-generated radiative heat loads on re-entry vehicles. So last but not least, we want to award the team projects. And you see this huge cup on the table. This is for the best team that we have judged from the jury. And let me see who will receive and has to transport back to home this big cup. Oh, first, I have to call first Andrea Böse from the DRR. She is representing the German Aerospace Association, DGLR. So are already opened. Yes, this prize, wow, this is cool. This is going to Russia. Russia won the prize for the best team project. Yes, I remember this team. Three guys and one girl, they made a really pretty presentation. They brought their own satellites with them. And the winner, or representing the team, is Dmitry Rashkin, but I ask that the whole gang is coming on the stage. The topic of their... The topic of their presentation or of their project is a two-blade deploying by centrifugal force solar sail experiment. And this is an experiment which should be ejected from the International Space Station. And you see, this is the real dimension of their satellite. I guess you can put the satellites into the cup. Yes, that looks good. So while all the winners are coming together for a family photo, I just want to close the student award ceremony. Please come to the middle. Finally, I want to thank all the sponsors for providing these prizes. So this is really important for the students. And also all the jury, the committee members who provide a lot of effort and put a lot of effort in running this student conference. And also I want to thank the IAF providing and local organizing committee providing the gala dinner ticket for the students. And then one last hint to industrial representative here in the room. This is the best pool for the talents. I already know that an American company picked up one of the students. That may be the reason why Rex is not here. Life magazine? Okay, thank you very much. Now I have to clean
Thank
the
you
table.
very much, and congratulations to all the award winners. So now I would like to call on stage the president of the IASL, Tanya Massentuan, to announce the winners of the IASL awards.
Good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure to give you a brief wrap-up of the awards given this year by the International Institute of Space Law. We actually have our own separate little party where we give our awards, but it's a great pleasure to at least mention these worthy people here before this August audience. The Institute has given several awards this year, and I will start first with, I think, the only person who is here actually in this room, and that is a certificate of gratitude that we have given to the person who has helped make our website and our communications up to scratch, who have helped us to integrate a new moot court website with our Institute website. He is our webmaster. He's, by the way, also the IAF webmaster, Mr. Scott Hatton. That is over there. Our second award went to a person who is a lady, and she is the director of the UN Office for Outer Space Affairs, Dr. Mazlan Otman. Dr. Otman is very, very helpful to the Institute. She has helped us obtain our observer status before the United Nations Committee on the Peaceful Uses of Outer Space. She has helped us in making a contribution to the UN Highlights in Space reports. She's very helpful in organizing an IASL ECSL symposium on space law for delegates of the UN COPOS legal subcommittee. But in addition to that, she has created the Malaysian Space Agency, Angkasa. She was the first astrophysicist of Malaysia and a woman, and has been helping Malaysia to get an astronaut up to the International Space Station. And Mazlan really deserved this award of appreciation from our institute. Our next award was actually also to a lady. It was our Distinguished Service Award, and this went to Professor Joanne Gabrinovich. Joanne is the director of the National Center for Remote Sensing, Air and Space Law of the University of Mississippi in the United States. She is also a board member of our institute and is editor-in-chief of the Journal of Space Law, one of the most prominent publications in space law, is co-organizer with our institute of the Eileen Galloway Symposia on Space Law, which we have been organizing since 5 years, every year in Washington, D.C. And I don't think that she's here, is she? But she has still deserved your applause for Joanne Gabrinovich. Then there are two Lifetime Achievement Awards, and I always tell the people who deserve that their life is not over and their achievements are not over, but we do find that they merit a special recognition from our institute. The first of this went to one of the pioneers of the institute. As you may recall, the institute celebrated its 50 years of existence last year in Prague, and Dr. Ernst Fazan has been one of the co-founders of the institute, has been involved since the beginnings, and still as an honorary director is very, very constructive, participates in meetings, and unfortunately could not be here with us this year, but Ambassador Jankovic kindly received this Lifetime Achievement Award on his behalf, and so I call your applause for Dr. Ernst Fazan. And the other Lifetime Achievement Award went to Judge Abdul Koroma of the International Court of Justice. Many of you have perhaps seen him. He has given a highlight lecture, the keynote, Nanda Siri Yasantuliana keynote lecture, which we organize each year on space law, where he has made some bold statements which may become interpretative because, as you may know, we have never had actual case law in the International Court of Justice, the highest judicial organ of the United Nations. But having this lecture by Judge Koroma and making statements about the Outer Space Treaty mandating that outer space should not be used for military activities was quite significant. In addition to that, Judge Koroma has been a very faithful supporter of our Manfred Lachs Space Law Moot Court competition, which celebrated its 20th anniversary this year. He has judged, I believe, 3/4 of all of the world finals, including this year, and therefore we wanted to honor him, especially also because he is from Sierra Leone, to mark also the occasion of being for the first time in this African continent. So that is a Lifetime Achievement Award for Judge Abdul Koroma. Then lastly, a few words about the generation of the future. I like to end with the young people. They are the future leaders. They are our hope for relief so that we can rest later on. First of all, I want to mention the winner of the Diedericks Verschoor Award for Best Paper by a Young Author. This award was created to honor Professor Diedericks Verschoor, one of my predecessors and countrywomen from the Netherlands, Isabella Diedericks Verschoor. The paper this year was won by a young lady from Germany, Miss Irina Kerner, a PhD candidate from the University of Cologne. She wrote an excellent paper about supranationalism, comparing the competence of the European Union under the Lisbon Treaty with the activities of the European Space Agency and giving us a way forward. Miss Irina Kerner from the University of Cologne. And lastly, I would like to mention the students who all participated in our moot court competition. We had this year for the first time an African introductory round with teams from Kenya, Nigeria, and actually also South Africa, University of Pretoria. This competition was won by the University of Nigeria. In addition to that, we had world finals of the American, European, and Asian teams here in Cape Town. This took all place yesterday, and the University of Florida State University, of the United States was the world champion. The runner-up was the National University of Singapore, and the second runner-up was the University of St. Petersburg in Russia. And I want to mention also that in the finals between Florida State and National University of Singapore, there were 4 women competing before the bench of judges of the ICJ. So that is also meriting your applause. And I want to end on one note saying that with another hat on, to mention before you that this week has also been memorable, not only in creating an African round of the moot court competition, which will officially compete next year, but also I would like to mention that we're very happy to have created Women in Aerospace Africa, and I really am very impressed with the women here on this continent, and I look forward to working with many of them in the future. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much. And now, last but not least, we would like to welcome Professor Mazzo, the IAA Vice President for Finance, on stage to announce the IAA Award recipients.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Dr. Naya, who is the president of IAA, I would like to report about the IAA award. Yes, we have several awards, but I would like to talk about only 2. And before that, I want to congratulate you, Dr. Martinez, on your success of this IAC 2011, as I happened to be chair of the local LOC on the occasion of IAC 2005. I know how it is to handle this organizing a local LOC. Yes, the headquarters want to squeeze the money from us, so on. And well, now about the award. Yes, the highest award of the Academy is von Karman Award. This year, this award went to Professor Liu Jian of China, who is the first head of the Chinese Space Agency. Yes, and this award was given to him for his lifetime contribution to the space development. And yes. And the second one I would like to talk to is laurel for team achievement. This laurel went to Hayabusa team. As you may know, this is the world's first asteroid sample return mission. It came back to the Earth successfully June last year. And it quite excited Japanese public. And my specialty was orbital mechanics or mission analysis, something like that. Not the finance, at least. So I can speak about this theme almost endlessly, but I stop here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and congratulations to all the award winners. I'd like to invite Dr. Martinez back on stage to join us, please.
And I would like to welcome back Professor Dr. Feuerbacher back on stage.
Now going back now. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not often that supplier can stand on stage and say he has a wonderful client, but I have the very rare opportunity to do that now. So in appreciation, but not just from me, but from all the attendees and exhibitors at this Congress, I'd like to take this opportunity to present Dr. Martinez with some last-minute guest books that we were able to have done this morning. And if anybody here hasn't signed them, please take an opportunity afterwards to sign them. We really would appreciate that. It does work faster. I believe, Professor Feuerbacher, you'd like to...
Yes.
Peter, it was great working with you in the preparations, during the Congress, and I hope also after the Congress to have a very intensive contact with you and enjoy your capable skills also in future. This was a wonderful Congress, and I would like to give to you a very personal gift. It's actually self-made, and it does have a dedication in there to you. It's a book called From Space to Earth, and it's authored by Bernd Feuerbacher and Ernst Messerschmidt from Germany.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure working with you. Thank you.
So at this time, I would like to reciprocate by presenting some gifts to Jonathan as well, and also Professor Feuerbacher. Let me begin with presenting a gift to Professor Feuerbacher first. So, let me just stand close so you can see it. You will recall from the opening ceremony that the South African Post Office, with the approval of the Minister of Communications, designed a special commemorative stamp to celebrate the hosting of the first IAC on the African continent. And we have here a framed first day cover of the stamp that was issued for this, which I present to you for the IAF. It's postmarked Cape Town, 3rd of October, 2011.
Thank you, Peter. This is a great memory. It's a real good thing, and it will decorate my walls. Thank you.
And of course, being as tired as I am, I ran out of imaginative ideas, so Jonathan gets the same for his office. They say that you should be careful what you ask for. I made the mistake of not being invited to the Young People's Party, and Jonathan has thrown the challenge, so I hope I have the energy to keep up with his young crowd this evening.
Excellent.
And now I believe that our president would like to give a few words, say a few words about one of our most favorite IAC and IAF veterans.
Yeah, this is a pleasure for me, but it's also a sad occasion. We have a young man in our secretariat who's been serving us for 6 years and unfortunately is leaving us. I'm talking about Philippe Willikens. Philippe, please come up. I tell you, working with Philippe is a lot of fun, but it's also very exhausting. Philippe is one of these people that usually always do 5 things at the same time simultaneously, and he can actually do that 5 balls in the air, and I'm standing there and I can just watch it, and it doesn't help me very much. Philippe, it was so much fun to work with you all these years. I very much regret that you're leaving us, but I know there's a career that has to be followed and you've been called, and I wish you all the best in the future. This is the last IAC you attend in your function as an executive director, but I am sure you will attend many more IACs in future, but then you will pay the attendance fee.
Okay, I didn't prepare anything. I'm so touched, of course. Also, I promised myself I wouldn't be on stage tonight. I let the new team to do it, but I'm, of course, very delighted. This is one of my best IACs, I can tell you, not only as an organizer, but as an attendee. I've attended 22 congresses since 1987, and I've organized 6, as you just say. So I've just piled up images and photographs and memories. And of course, I cannot forget my presidents, Jim Zimmerman, Bernd Feuerbacher. They've been instrumental in making myself fueled for tossing all these balls in the same time. Of course, behind me, there's not just me and me and me. Of course, there's everyone in my team that has helped me all over these years to prepare for these IACs. First of all, the team from the IAF. but also the teams from the LOC, which I have difficulties to separate. So the moment you get joined on the Thursday, the week before, this famous last LOC IF meeting that we have to run through the whole thing. At that time when I told Peter and Jonathan that we're going to merge, during the whole week we have a merge team and we have difficulties to differentiate who belongs to which team. So it has been always an enormous pleasure to work with this integrated team. But I'm very, very happy today to have you and at this stage, the end of my last IAC. I'm very, very, very glad to do that. Thanks.
Peter, I know you're exhausted by now, but I'm afraid your work isn't done yet. Can you please come up on stage and introduce everybody to the heads of your team?
Okay, so it's my particular pleasure now to bring to the fore the people who've been in the background during the past week and the people who made this IAC possible during the past few years. So we'll begin with a team from City Guide and Paragon Conventions. Paul, operations, please come up. Lee, who was handling the logistics. Lara, who was a project manager. Janine. Jane, who was handling the registrations, also Sam handling registrations, Keith, who was handling the exhibitions, Tanya, who was dealing with transport and housing, Marissa, who was handling tourism, Vicky, who handled finance, if they could come up. So this was our all-star PCO team, and then there was a very small secretariat in the National Research Foundation that coordinated the preparations. Carla Sharp, if you could please come up. Margie Kumalo. Ketchel, if you could please come up. And then we also had two students, CJ Nwosa and Pierre van Heerden, but I understand that they're not with us this afternoon. And then in addition to that, I'd like to ask two other colleagues to come up who played a very significant role. Nomfuneku Majaja, who chaired our preparatory committee. Nomfuneku, if you could come up, please. And also Marie Buerta of the Aerospace Industry Support Initiative. Marie, come down, please, as well, and come and join us on the stage. Ketchel Kirkham, are you here? Okay.
Marie's had a long week too.
What a great team. I thank all of you. It's been wonderful to work with you. And I would like to take the opportunity now to bring up the other side of the team. That is the Secretariat and the team of the International Astronautical Federation that has co-organized with you this Congress. And I call them the way they are seated here because otherwise it's difficult to get them out. So Christian, would you please come up? Scott, Hector, oh, sorry. You're so small, Stephanie. Come on, Stephanie. We have Philippe. There are more Philippes. And there is Pierre-François, Pif. Please come up, and here we have Michel Arnaud, and my God. Valerie, please come here. So this is our team. And of course, one person that we shouldn't miss, you've seen her before, she looks so beautiful. Please join. So who's handing out first? Okay. Please come. This really is the favorite thing in the whole Congress, and this is actually why I'm doing all this, why I take all this burden on me to run such a Congress. It is handing out the flowers to the ladies. It's exhausting, but it's a pleasure. I'm sorry. Life is difficult. Thank you. And with my best thanks. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. No flowers for you, and no kisses either, but we have two little gifts for the two of you. Thank you very much. You take over now? Yeah. And now it's the turn of Peter.
Thank you, Bernd. Well, I think you definitely got a better deal. I'm looking to see how many ladies there are for me to kiss on this side. It doesn't look fair somehow. But it's our pleasure now to acknowledge the wonderful interaction we had with the IAF team by giving them some gifts. So I shall now proceed to hand them out. a bouquet. We have a bouquet for Christa Feuerbacher. If you could come up, please. Let me just say that organizing one of these conferences or being involved at the level of the executive, it takes a lot of time and energy from not only the person involved but the spouse as well. So we really recognize that, and thank you very much.
There's another wonderful lady that I would call back on the stage. Tanya, I would like you, as one of our partners and best friends, to pass on some flowers as a gift.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Tanya, for everything. Please stay on the stage.
Oh, yes. We're going to make this work.
Thank you very much.
So, now we call... yeah, do we have the phone?
So, and now we would like to call from next year's team from the for the IAC 2012 from Naples, Antonio Moccia and Mrs. Liliana Napolitano on stage. And also we would like to call Professor Mazzo back on stage, please.
So, Professor Matsuo and Tanya, you come with me, please. First of all, I would like also to give you this beautiful little book about Cape Town. And we now start the handover ceremony of the flag, handing over the baton from the present local organizing committee to that will follow next year in Naples. So can I ask the local organizing committee of Cape Town to give us the flag?
Music.
Maybe you can sing in the meantime. And then you hand it over to us and we pass it on. Can I invite our...
No, but before you give me the flag, I must do something out of the rules, out of your permission. I would like to thank especially me to Phil Willigan.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
I must do this one to you. Thank you. Excuse me.
Please, the team of Naples, please join us on this side. And we now make the formal handover by the three partners that run the International Astronautical Congress. Professor Matsuo, representing the International Academy of Astronautics, Tanya Masten-Swan, representing the International Institute for Space Law, myself, representing IAF, and with this, we hand this over to you in good hands,
And we are looking forward for a very exciting Congress in Naples.
No doubt.
The level is high. It's a challenge to beat this, what we have here. But I'm sure you and our Italian colleagues will make it.
Yes.
Giuliane.
For sure.
Good. Antonia.
I will promise you that is very good Congress in Naples, but happy to.
Thank you. Thank you. And we will close with a little video showing the site and the environment of the next IAC. Thank all of you. It was a pleasure to work with you, and looking forward to see you in Naples. Thank you very much.